Hey everybody, Andrew with Dynatec Industries here. Today we have an exciting new gas blowback replica to show off. This is the Daniel Defense PCC. This one specifically is the SBR variant. This retails for $429 at the time of this video and is made by Double Eagle. We know Double Eagle makes really great MWS clones, and this one is no exception. And we're going to go ahead and open it up, but before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know in the comments what gas blowback replica you'd like for us to show off. So opening it up, we're going to take a look. We have the lasered Daniel Defense foam cover. We have the manual with DDPCC patch. We have the magazine. We have a cleaning rod. We have a M-LOK QD sling mount. And then we have the replica itself. So let's take a look at the external features. We'll start at the front and work our way towards the back. At the front, we have a plastic A2 style flash hider. This is orange plastic. It does not come with a replacement muzzle device. However, the threads are 14mm counterclockwise, so almost all aftermarket muzzle devices for airsoft replicas will fit. This one does not come with one, so if you do need to replace this orange one, you will need to buy a separate one. Moving on to the handguard, this is the DD4 7-inch handguard. This has 3 slots of M-LOK that start at the 1 o'clock position and ends at the 11 o'clock position. It has full trademark, so it says Daniel Defense, DD4 7-inch on there, which is pretty cool. Moving on to the threads are AEG or MWS spec threads, so if you do want to swap the handguard for whatever reason, you will need to look for a handguard that comes in AEG spec threads or MWS spec threads. Moving on to the receiver itself, it has the Daniel Defense markings with the logo on here as well as the manufacturer location. The serial number is not unique, so everybody will have the same serial number. For the controls are fully ambidextrous, so starting with the charging handle, you can actuate the charging handle from either side. The charging handle has Daniel Defense trademarks on it. Then moving on to the bolt catch and bolt release, these are ambidextrous, so you can press this paddle here on either side to release the bolt. And then for the magazine, you have your standard AR-15 push button magazine release that you can actuate from either side. For the fire selector, this one is a standard A2 fire selector, but it is ambidextrous as well. This comes in 3 positions, safe, semi, and auto, that you would expect from a AR-15 style replica. Moving on, we have the pistol grip. This is modeled after the Daniel Defense Tornado style grip, which features a more steep angle. I believe it is similar to a 1911 grip, and this has a rubberized coating on it that is actually pretty comfortable. On the bottom, it has the Daniel Defense markings as well. Then on the back, we have a QD sling point mount right here on the back for the sling plate. For the buffer tube, this is a standard AR-15 carbine length buffer tube. The threads on this are MWS spec, not real steel spec, so you will need to find a replacement that is MWS spec if you do need to replace it for whatever reason. Moving on to the stock. The stock is a 6-position stock. This is a Daniel Defense style stock, and it has rubberized cheek padding here that has the EMG logo. And then on the back, this is a plastic butt pad. This also has a QD sling point mount on either side on the back of the stock here. All right, let's take a look at the internal features of the DDPCC. So if we take a look at the hop-up, this is a standard MWS hop-up that you adjust from the wheel here. What's cool about this one is that due to the shape of the receiver, it's actually pretty easy to stick your finger in the ejector slot here to adjust the hop-up. On standard MWSs, you kind of have to stick your finger in the magazine well to adjust it, but this one you can just reach pretty easily from the outside, which is pretty cool. The inner barrel is a brass inner barrel. pretty standard with your off-the-shelf replica. If you do have accuracy issues, we do recommend you replacing your inner barrel. We have plenty of options on our store if you want to check those out. Moving on to the bolt carrier group, if we crack open the receiver here, the bolt carrier group is actually pretty interesting. So if we take the bolt carrier group and we take a look at the standard Double Eagle Noveske N4 bolt carrier group, you can see that the PCC bolt carrier group is slightly shorter than the standard AR-15 style MWS bolt carrier group. So that means you won't be able to use aftermarket bolt carrier groups for this one. However, the nozzle is a standard MWS if you want to replace the nozzle, or if the nozzle breaks and you do need to replace it. Weight-wise, these are pretty similar. The Noveske N4 bolt carrier group is about 211 grams, and when we weighed the DD PCC bolt carrier group, that was 200 grams. Now, the nozzle stop on the top is what sets these two apart pretty drastically. The nozzle stop on the MWS or Noveske N4 bolt carrier group is your standard MWS one. However, on the PCC, it has this little shelf on here, so you may not be able to use a standard MWS nozzle stop, but the nozzle is standard MWS. Speaking of aftermarket bolt carrier groups, you won't be able to fit a standard bolt carrier group into the PCC receiver at all. They're actually too big. So we can demonstrate that here. If I try to put this, it's actually colliding with the receiver and I'm not able to fit it. So you won't be able to fit aftermarket MWS nozzle or bolt carrier groups on there. So you have to stick with the PCC. And if we take off the top receiver here, let's take a look at the trigger box. Trigger box is your standard Marui MWS trigger box. The trigger is not bad, not great, but you should be able to find any replacement parts or upgrades in terms of the trigger box for MWSs. Also has your standard Z plate here. This is not, it has some lightning holes in it, but I don't believe this is the extra lightened weight Z plate. So if you do want to put a aftermarket bolt release or something like that on here, you may need a lighter Z plate. Okay, after we're done taking a look at the internals, let's move on to the magazine. So for the magazine, this is a Scorpion Evo style magazine, which is pretty cool. It holds 35 rounds. We technically fit 37 in it, but we recommend you don't do this. Keep it at 35. And so what that does is when you insert the magazine, a full magazine, into your replica, it won't damage your nozzle. So don't overfill it past 35. The magazine fill valve is on the bottom, like your standard MWS magazines, and then it has this little dot matrix portion on here, so if you want to number your magazines. The exterior is made of pot metal or aluminum. It's kind of hard to tell, but the magazine being made of metal should help with cooldown if you are firing a lot or firing rapidly. So that's all we got for the external or internals and the magazine. Let's put this back together and take it to the range to run some tests. Okay, so we're going to be using Swiss Arms 130 psi gas, and we're going to be using 0.25 gram BBs. Okay. Now we're going to do the rounds per second test. This is 30 rounds. About 15.2. So that covers the Daniel Defense PCC made by Double Eagle. We think this is a really cool platform built on the MWS ecosystem. If you want to pick one up for yourself, check us out at www.dynatecindustries.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, like, subscribe. You know the drill. Thanks.